Okay, so it is Saturday, 5 o'clock UK, 6 o'clock Europe, um, 1 o'clock EST, 10 o'clock PST, and everywhere in between. We have the great Vlado Platinic with us again today. Where are you, Vlado? Which country?
Hello, everybody. I'm in Slovakia. Actually, this time I'm traveling for my son hockey match. So we are in the east part of Slovakia. It's like 4 hours drive from my house. So we are staying in a hotel with my wife because tomorrow there is a second match. Then we drive back home.
So that was my surprise question to you today. What happened? You were 5-0 down.
What do you mean?
Well,
Slovakia,
Slovakia against USA.
Olympic Games.
Well, yeah.
What can I say?
You've forgotten about it already.
Nobody believed actually that Slovakia can make semifinals.
Oh, okay. So they did well.
So it's one thing, and also probably it's very mental again, like in tennis. I think there was not enough confidence in the players. Of course, America, USA is a number one, number two country with ice hockey right now. So I think mentally we didn't make it, the players, and obviously it's a shame. But today we play for a bronze medal, so I hope they can make it.
And it might be the same in tennis too, because you got off to a slow start. You were 2-0 down, in record time. And it's difficult, possibly mentally, to come back from that, is it? And in tennis?
Yeah, that's what I say. I think mentally they went down too much on themselves. What I saw, and also it's very similar to tennis because once you start to be negative, and also you start to make some bad decision, under let's say panic attack or under pressure. Because the game is very fast, and every inch, every half a second is a big difference, and that's where the opponents were better. They were more calm, they were more steady, they were playing fast, they were using their chances, and it goes fast. It goes fast, and and then it's difficult to come back because obviously this is a strong team, the best of the best. So. It's the same like in tennis. It's the same like in the semifinals of Grand Slam.
So, serious question: when your brain, it's the amygdala, I think, gets hijacked, how do you arrest the hijack and get back to calm and get the match going again? How do you do that?
Exactly. You need to focus on the basics. Especially when you are starting especially in tennis, starting the rallies, playing the percentage tennis, playing more cross court, trying to move your feet better, don't go for difficult shots, focus on your serve, because especially men's tennis, but also women tennis, now you can see Rybakina, when she focuses on a big serve, she gets a lot of free points, so this should be a goal also for a lot of players to get it together. Focus more on the first points, return +1, return +2, and go back to your game plan. Try to find the weakness. Try to turn the match, because honestly the match can turn with 1 or 2 games. And you can be back. So this is a little bit more difficult because. Team sports, the problem is that there is more people on the field, and it takes 1 or 2 guys, not to focus or panic or do some mistake, and you are having troubles. So I can imagine for the coach in a team sport, it's even more difficult because you have so many guys you need to control, and you need to motivate and give them the right information, and I cannot really imagine, because I work one-on-one and it's already difficult. So in team sports it must be super difficult.
I presume then job one, is you're saying, is to stop the momentum. Don't try and go from retreat to attack. Stop the momentum, get into the match, and then improve.
Yes. A lot of people, a lot of players, they tend to rush. You always have 25 seconds between the points, and I see, with especially young players, sometimes the clock shows 20 seconds, they already go to serve. So it's good to use this time between the points to really, take time, take towel, calm down, refocus, and like I said, focus on the basics.
Yeah, I should have asked you this question last week, but after the Grand Slam, any Grand Slam, in this case the Australian Open, which we know is a special theatre of tennis, you just walk through the gates and you go, oh my God, this is special. You get global attention, global TV audience, interviews, everybody wants you. If you are a top 100 and you get knocked out in the first round, at least you satisfied probably a boyhood or girlhood dream. And if you get deep into the second week, fabulous. My point is, does anybody do any training for after the slam? Because it must be flat, because everybody's moved on and you're just there like, whoa.
This is great question. I think, what I can tell you is that I really see that there's a lot of chaos going on the tour. And I think there is two reasons, maybe not enough experience or maybe a little bit lack of the professionalism that, the coaches or the teams or the players, they don't really plan ahead. You know what I mean? And this is a very good question, because I think it's a big difference if you win. If you go to second week, deep in the second week, or if you lose in the first round, because it's 2 weeks difference.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks difference. And obviously you have to have a plan B after the Grand Slam, and you need to know what to do. And I see like a lot of players, they are rushing, going deep in the second week, and then they go and play straight away. They play other tournaments and they don't do well, and then they complain about the tough schedule and so on. So I think everybody can make a choice. You can skip some tournaments and have a good rest, especially if you need it for your mental, to recover and get energy again, and also practice a little bit, work on some things again, to improve your game and be ready for another big tournaments coming. So this is one thing that I see, that it's a little bit chaotic. And then obviously, like for the players who lose first round, it's the same story, because they lose and they feel like, okay, I lost and I need to play more, and they rush to tournaments. And for me, it's also a mistake, because if you are not doing well in a Grand Slam and you are not playing up to your standards or not good enough, like you still have, to think and you give a lot of energy in the preseason, and also you lose a lot of energy because in Grand Slam the pressure is high because you play for a lot of points and a lot of money. And like you said, everybody's watching. Like it's not easy. It's like a little world championship 4 times a year, and so the pressure is higher. And I think it's just good to recover after this, especially if you are not happy with your performance, and take rest. Work on some things that you need to work with your coach, and then go to play tournaments. And I see the tour is rushing, and the girls are playing. Or the guys are playing a lot of tournaments, not doing well, and then they complaining about a lot of tournaments and a tough schedule, So
yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit, it has two faces. It's not only the tough schedule, but it's also the choice of tournaments and your planning and scheduling.
Yeah, I'm not equating it, but many years ago, I had quite a senior role in an America's Cup yachting event. And there was a little phrase in there, what's the difference between the America's Cup and heroin? And the answer was, it's easier to get off heroin, which is true, because you work for all these years and time to get to an America's Cup, to get to an Australian Open. For many people, it's been their lifelong dream. Forget if you are getting into the second week, and then it's there and then it's gone. So it must be, I'm not equating it to the same, but it must be difficult to come down and then get on with your life, because it's normal life is not the US Open or the Australian Open.
Yes, but you have to be realistic. You have to believe in yourself. I had a comment, from a coach that there is too many like $125,000 tournaments, and there is a lot of tournaments the player can play, and then kind of like everybody can be top 100. I said, no, not everybody can be top 100. Only you can only put 100 people in top 100. So it doesn't matter how many tournaments you have. I think it's actually good that you have a lot of WTA tournaments, because more players get opportunity to make living. And I just I said, it's all about the scheduling. Like everybody has, I think, a certain level for the moment. And, some players, they need to play the 35Ks, 50Ks. Some players, they can play the 75Ks, 100Ks, 125Ks. And then some players, they play 250s and above. And you need to see, and your coach and your team, you need to see where you belong, where you can make the points. And you have to go from level to level up, and try to make more points. Obviously, in the big tournaments, you make more points. But first, you have to have the level to go through these tournaments. So, like I said, I develop a lot of players coming from 25,000s, which is not 25,000s. And I always had this schedule, like, for example, with Kasatkina, the first 7 months, we only played $25,000 tournaments on clay, because she was moving slow, she was serving slow, she was playing slow in general, and the game was maybe good enough for the 25Ks on clay, but no way the game was good enough for hard courts or faster surfaces. And then, during these 7 months, we were developing bigger serve, we were developing faster game, better fitness, faster moving. And then, in 1 year, she was going from 400 to top 100. So that's what I say. You have to have a strategy as a coach, as a team, as a player. You have to do it in a smart way, and move from one level to another.
She must have gone from no ranking points to a lot, no money to a lot.
Yes, this is the tricky part and the bad part of tennis, that most of these players and the parents around them and people around them, they just don't make it mentally, especially when they make a lot of money and they get famous. Sometimes it's not the good thing happening to them.
Yeah. We'll talk about that obviously in future weeks, because there must be training there must be training to link yourself to the journey, not necessarily to the results and the outcomes, the points, the adulation and the money.
Absolutely. Don't think about money. Don't think about the points. Just go work, because the career is very short, and just go into your, focus, tunnel vision kind of approach, and just do your job for 10 years. And then maybe, you can win Grand Slams. Maybe you will be, top 20 for most of those years. But obviously, when you start to think about everything else, just not focusing on the things you have to do, your career can be very short.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to get to a top ranking. It's another thing entirely to keep that ranking or improve it year in, year out.
Exactly.
Cool. There's some exhibitions going on. What's your views about exhibitions?
I'm not aware about exhibitions right now. I think, there is more exhibitions at the end of the year or beginning of the season.
Okay.
Maybe I missed something. Maybe you can tell me.
Okay, no worries. Next question then is, I presume people are scattered all around the world now. What happens after the Australian Open with the juniors, the ladies and the men? What's the next leg?
Yes, that's what I said. There is a lot of tournaments in Middle East now for men and women, for the highest ranked players, because there is right after the Australian Open, there is Abu Dhabi 500, and then Doha, Dubai. Dubai is 1,000 event, and that's what I said. Like, a lot of players, they are not doing the correct schedule. Then they are withdrawing from these tournaments, and the tournament directors are not happy about it. The sponsors. So this is the another the story that I was telling you that if I go far in the Australian Open and I'm number 1 or 2 or let's say top 10 player, obviously, I should just rest, prepare for maybe Dubai or these big events, and play those events. And now a lot of players, they withdrew from Dubai, so it's not really good for tennis. It's not good for the tournament. The junior players, obviously, also they have, like I told you, similar schedule. They continue playing tournaments, especially the lower 35Ks, all around the world, and this is the same story, because if they rush and they go right away from Australian Open, they go right away to play some tournaments, I think it's a mistake.
So we're just about. You kindly introduced me to Martin during the week. Martin is from Slovak. Could you say a few words about Martin?
Well, I mean, Martin Kližan is our, let's say, one of the best players in Slovakia. Historically, he was best ranked 24 in the world. I believe he beat Djokovic. I believe he beat Nadal. I'm not sure about Federer. So he beat like a lot of Grand Slam champions in his career. Won ATP tournaments. So definitely one of the best players in the world, top 25.
And now transitioning to a coach.
He's a very good guy. In regards of tennis, he loves tennis. He now changed to coaching because he finished his career, and he's very passionate about tennis. I was able to work with him in the academy in Slovakia, and I was really curious, about his approach. And I can tell you that the guy was sometimes 6 hours on the court, trying to give 100% to a 10-year-old kid or 18-year-old kid or whatever he was working with. So I was really surprised with his approach, because again, he's a superstar. He was a great player, and I was really surprised how much he loves tennis, because he was also telling me he took I think 1 or 2 years off, and then he became the coach of the academy, and he was so happy. He was like, Vlado, I love this job. The kids love me. They listen to me, and I really saw that he enjoys it so much. So now he's working as a personal coach. So I really, I don't know. I didn't see the interview yet.
I'm just about
Martin, so you can
bring it in.
tell me more.
Okay. You just touched on something there about, he's saying, I'm so glad they listened to me. Do you have tennis players that don't listen to the coach?
Yes, but you find these players everywhere. I don't want to mention names, but even like top players, with coaches like Ferrero or Ivanišević, they are more open. Than some coaches. They are afraid to express any critique on their players because they're afraid to lose the job. But Ferrero and Ivanišević, they said they were working with some players. They were not listening. They were coming late to the practices. The parents were interfering in their practices, and obviously they stopped the cooperation. So there is many. I would say maybe more than 50% of those players, they are not ready to listen.
Wow. It seems that the higher the ranking you are, the more you listen to your coach. Even Djoko. No?
Djoko is a good example, because I know and I heard from all the coaches that he's open to try everything that coach tells him. So he's on the positive part. But like I said, there is more than 50% of the players that they are not willing to listen.
Okay.
I don't know if they are scared. Maybe they are scared to change things. Because obviously when you get out of the comfort zone, it takes a while, to get some of the new things in your system. Because first the problem is that you have to think about the new things, and then when you are thinking, it's you are a little bit late everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because your mind has to be free when you play the match. Things have to be automatic, and the transition between learning and being having things automated in your system, it takes time. And most of the players, they get very uncomfortable with this, and they give up too soon.
Yeah, I was speaking to somebody the other week about the constant switching between conscious competence and unconscious competence, and then back to conscious competence and then to unconscious, which is just what you said.
Yes.
Right, I am going to, a little drum roll, I am going to get Martin on screen.
Okay.
He says, and we should go. How can that be?
It's loading.
Oh, well, the strange thing is couldn't be installed. Vlado, I rehearsed this many times. Let us go. I'm going to start it from afresh.
Technical issues.
It's a medlock. It is amazing because I did this many times with no glitch.
Okay.
And the only time we wanted it to work properly. Oh, there we go.
You can see the video.
Say that again. Oh, I am.
I can hear
Okay. I can see Martin.
Okay.
So that's just taking up the screen, so I can see it perfectly. Listen to it. We'll carry on as we are, and then I'll get it tuned as soon as we stop.
Okay.
Oh.
Good interview.
Well, it was just before we come back to you. Right. So some sobering things there, Vlado. It's not a life
Yes,
of luxury, and
I love one thing he said that a lot of juniors and young players, they should understand that he said 99% of the time he don't feel the ball, he is suffering, he's finding ways to win, and this is the big problem with junior tennis, because when they don't feel the ball and they don't feel comfortable, they think they are playing bad, and then everything breaks down. Instead of finding the solution to win the match, they blame everything else, and they collapse mentally. They are just not having enough experience, or not having enough power of will to go through these situations. They're only happy when they feel the ball, and when it's painless, And this is what I like that he said, because
that's only 1% of the time.
Not talking about this, but this is exactly what is important, that the young players understand that 99% of the time you don't feel the ball, you make mistakes, and you don't feel comfortable on the court, and you still need to find a way how to win.
And to some extent, it's the same in the amateur game with amateur players. We all think, when we step on court, we're going to play our best. And the reality is, we rarely play our best, even as amateurs.
Yeah. It's always something, like I said, like Martin said, because when you're experienced, my footwork is wrong, or my preparation is too late, or I don't put enough spin on the ball, So this is the thing, that the good players, they are able to think, and find a way and find the problem in their game, or maybe find the problem in the opponent's game, so they can come back in the match, even they are not feeling 100%. And this is the important thing, that a lot of the young players, they are looking for the advice of the coach, and even the coach gives advice, even then they are not listening, and they are being, nervous and hysterical on the court, and this is the big difference, that like Martin said, he knew what he needs to do, and still he had good coaches, good ex-players, top ex-players, to maybe sometimes help him with some solution on the court, or some advice that he could use and win the matches. You know what I mean? But this is the thing that we were talking about, that first you need to be open to listen to the coach, and try those things that the coach is telling you to do. And most of the times, and I told you that the players, they just don't do it, because they are just, too nervous and panicking too much.
So thank you for your time today. Good luck for your son. Do you coach your son in ice hockey? Does he listen to you?
No. He has his coach and the team, and I'm.
You're there as a fan.
Sometimes I'm just giving him a little advice to move faster, or show a little bit more energy, or let's say the things that you can see, because if you do sports, of course you see some of those things, but I'm not giving him any specific technical or tactical. I just ask him sometimes, what did you do here? What did you do there? And what the coach said, and but I'm not trying to be, the coach in my son hockey, and I'm trying to, build a team of people around him, who can help him, and I'm trying to get, like Martin said, the best people, and some ex-players, ex-national players, to help my son, the fitness coaching. Mentally, I'm trying to help him, because I think it's a lot of similarities, with tennis, and with in every top level sport, the mind works same. So with these things, obviously, I try to help him, but not too much coaching from my side on ice hockey.
Great. So Vlado, we release you. Probably go to have dinner with your wife and your son.
With my wife.
So
yeah.
Thank you for jumping on.
My son is with his team. I'm just going to have nice dinner with my wife.
Lovely. You have a great evening, and as ever, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mark. Bye.